Good morning, it's thefloordaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. I'm in Chattanooga at the Dixie Group's offices, and I'm with Dan Frierson, the chairman of the Dixie Group. Dan, how you doing?
Kemp, doing great. I'd like to wish you and all your listeners a very happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. I concur with you. I wanted to talk to you about your third quarter results. It's taken a little while for us to mesh our schedules, but you had good results, especially coming off that 20-year. It looks like you did around $90 million in revenue, which is up 27% from the third quarter of the previous year, right?
That is correct. We had an excellent third quarter. The residential business is very strong. Let's talk in a few minutes strategically what changed in the third quarter. But first of all, our results. Our sales were right around $90 million, 27% above last year. Year to date, we are 44% ahead of last year. Our residential business has grown more in 3 quarters than we sold in commercial carpets either last year or this year. So we're replacing that volume very quickly. Our gross profit increased to 27.9% from 24.5%. Our sales and administrative expenses are down from 21.7% to 20.3%. And our operating income was $6.8 million versus $1.5 million a year ago. So very strong results for the quarter, very good business environment, and we think that's going to continue on into the fourth quarter. We actually mentioned in our conference call that our fourth quarter sales, and fourth quarter a year ago was very strong. Our fourth quarter sales this year are up 20% over last year.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know the investors seem to be happy. I looked at your stock price, and it's at a 52-week high, so there's some investors that are happy with what you're doing as well.
Well, we're very concerned about our investors, but we're more concerned about our customers and our business activity levels because that is what really makes happy investors.
Well, let's talk about a couple things you did. These are rough numbers. You sold your Atlas Maslin brand to Mannington Commercial, got about $20 million for it, and lost about $60 million in revenue. And I was asking you earlier this year how long it was going to take you to recoup that, and you said you're well on track, right?
We're well on track in recouping that, and we have several growth initiatives on which we have embarked in the third quarter. But before we get to that, one of the big things that's changed in our industry is Stainmaster's and Vista's seeming desire to get out of the business. So we started converting about 3 years ago with alternate suppliers, and we believe by mid-year next year we will be pretty well complete in converting products to other fiber sources. We will have 3 or 4 sources. We will have more flexibility, and I think we'll be a stronger company with multiple sources of raw material.
You know, those people who know the history of this industry know that when you went to surfaces every year, you had the most product that was on that brand and was probably the most loyal supporter of theirs. So I know it was tough. They said out of the blue, they're exiting that business, and you've reacted. And I believe you're going to be one of the only players in the business that continues to offer a nylon 6/6 product in the residential market.
We will certainly continue to be offering Type 6/6 nylon products. We think Invista had excellent fibers. We think we have been able to replace them with excellent fibers. We also have started our premier flooring centers, which will take the place of the Stainmaster flooring centers. We think that's a way of helping our customers sell better products and make more money.
Now, you and I both know that Stainmaster brand name, which had tens of millions of dollars invested in the mid-'80s to build it to the consumer's not going to be walking in asking for Envision 6/6 or the Premier Flooring Centers, but it does give those retailers a warranty system. It gives them a merchandising system. So it replaces, I guess, to the trade, all that you were getting from the Stainmaster Flooring Center, right?
We think it does. And, of course, Palmy Bueller has done a great job of explaining that to our key customers and the industry. And I think he will continue to do that in a way that allows us to be the dominant player in the upper end of the business. Incidentally, we think the higher-end market has performed much better than the market overall, and we see that as we look at our better products. Our most expensive products seem to be selling better than other products.
Isn't that interesting? You have any theory on why that is?
I think there's a lot of money out there, and there is obviously a lack of ability to service the industry today, which is unusual. It's unusual in the carpet business, but it's happening in many, many industries.
Well, and your styling is probably on top of the game, so that's probably another reason.
Well, we certainly have some very creative people. We've continued to invest in equipment that allows us to make better product and product that's not seen elsewhere.
So talk about your hard surface business for a second.
Our TrueCore business has grown extremely rapidly, and I think we indicated in the third quarter it was up over 70%. Clearly, Jamin and his group have done an excellent job with visuals, with product, and with sourcing. Now, the one change that we have made in the third quarter is today we are sourcing product from the United States. And we see that obviously as a longer-term trend and something that we will continue to build on.
All right, so what's your outlook for 22 when it comes to the residential carpet business?
Well, I just read in the Wall Street Journal today that home resales may hit an all-time high this year. I think that's indicative of what's going on. There is plenty of money in the marketplace today because the government has made it that way. And I think what that has done is given the consumer the ability to trade up. It's given the consumer the ability to go on and move and purchase items. And we think carpet, along with other home furnishings, will continue to do well in 2022.
All right, Dan. Well, I appreciate the update. It's good to catch up with you. Again, been talking to Dan Frierson, the chairman of the Dixie Group, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.